onto a listener's question. Now, Dennis, who writes the eShop news and other bits and pieces on N Europe, is Vileplume 2000 from the N-E Café thread, has asked us, I was looking at the list of 2020 games and there is not much confirmed yet. Only a couple of big titles like Animal Crossing and Xenoblade HD. Realistically, which games do you expect for 2020? And we can go one game each and move around. But so first of all, I do want to bring up what games we do know about, especially first party ones. And the first one to drop next year, January the 3rd, will be Dr. Kawashima's Brain Training.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm quite excited by that myself, Nick. Did you play the ones on DS? Uh-huh. And did you enjoy them?
Yeah, it was alright. It was a fun DS game. It was something new, so,
I think sitting around the little screen by here and pressing the clickers will be a lot of fun come January. Then on 17th of January, 2 weeks later, we got Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE Encore. I couldn't care less about this one.
I'm going to give an unsarcastic yes for that one. I'm definitely going to get that. Great game. 9 out of 10, NEurope.com, reviewed by me.
Good job. And you'll dip back into it, yes, for the Switch?
Yeah, absolutely. It was... Okay. So I said Hyrule Warriors was one of my favourite Wii U games. Tokyo Mirage Sessions also was one of my favourite.
Okay.
Completely unexpected. Absolutely loved it.
And on March the 20th, we know that Animal Crossing New Horizons will be dropping, and I'm excited for this one. It looks like I'm going to buy my son a Switch for Christmas. It looks like then I'm going to have to buy 2 copies of Animal Crossing's New Horizons.
So you can't share it, no?
Myself, I probably want it on the system.
Uh-huh.
And then for a cheaper second copy, I'll probably buy it physical for my son.
But I mean, like, you could use one cartridge and have save data on each console.
Oh, you're right.
But then you wouldn't be able to play together.
You won't be able to drop in together. That's the thing we're looking forward to. Yeah. Double 2 Switches, 2 games. Damn it. And then the last one we know about, first party wise, that is Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition HD 2020. No specific dates. So when Dennis asked this question, I think he was thinking of first-party games only. So that's the kind of trajectory we're going to put this listener's questions answers to. Anything that springs to your mind, Greg, that could feasibly arrive?
Well, first, I kind of want to say, I don't know whether to be worried or excited that we don't really know anything else for next year, because, I think before 2019 started, we didn't really know that much either, and I kind of expected it to get filled out, and maybe for some people it did get filled out, but for me it's been a bit of a disappointing year in terms of first party output. I mean, there's games like Fire Emblem and what else was there? Like Yoshi's Crafted World.
Luigi's Mansion.
I've got Yoshi. Yeah, I mean, Luigi's Mansion seems really good so far, but there's been quite a few games where they're not really my sorts of games, so it's been a bit of a weak year for me. So I'm kind of hoping they deliver something next year, and maybe a decent start for that would be something like Mario Golf.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a big
for one of those.
I'm not a huge I don't really like golf in real life. I'm not that bothered about it, but Mario Golf, particularly the Nintendo 64 and the 3DS games, are both amazing golf games and so much fun. And we obviously got tennis in 2018, Mario Tennis Aces, so I think enough time has passed that we could be due Mario Golf from Camelot.
Yeah, bit of summer golfing, hopefully. Nick, you have any indications of what could feasibly appear in 2020?
Well, Greg is completely right that this year we expected it to get filled up, and it didn't really, did it? The first half of the year was pretty empty, and they stuck a lot of stuff at the back of the year. But this is the thing, all the games that we mentioned, Yoshi's Crafted World, Luigi's Mansion. What else was there? Link's Awakening. But basically everything that's come out this year, bar Ring Fit Adventure, I think.
Yeah.
Was not first party. It was all second party.
Yeah, second party. Yes.
I mean, they're
Grezzo was Link's Awakening.
They're doing.
Yes.
I think they're doing Animal Crossing, aren't they? Probably themselves in house.
Yes.
And then I'm guessing they're probably. I mean, most of them are going to be working on Breath of the Wild too. Whether that comes out next year, I hope it comes out at Christmas. I would like to see that as the Christmas game for next year.
I've changed my stance on that. I'm thinking, in your kind of thing, I'm thinking, what are they working on? And yes, you're right with the second party things. Yeah, Dr. Kawashima's a smaller game, and that's all done now. Tokyo Mirage Sessions is somebody else. Xenoblade is somebody else porting it across. Yes, I could see now Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 coming out that kind of Christmas time at the end of the year.
But the first year, what did we have? Okay, Mario Kart 8 was a port, but we had Zelda, Odyssey, Splatoon, ARMS. I'm sure there was another big one as well. First party, I mean. So
New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe came out in January then, didn't it? That was a year later though. Yeah.
That was a 3-minute port, probably, to be fair. But I think they're working on. What I would ideally like to see is, I really want a sequel to ARMS, actually. That would be really cool. I don't think we'll get it, but I'd like to see it. I think we're probably going to see the next Mario game. It might not come out next year, but I think we'll see it next year.
Is this a 2D Mario game?
No, 3D.
3D Mario game.
Maybe it's Odyssey 2. Maybe it's Galaxy 3. Maybe it's something completely new. But I think we'll see it next year. And I think we'll also see one more new IP next year from Nintendo in-house. But I can't say what. I would honestly really like to see a sequel to ARMS. I think Splatoon 3 is probably already in development as well. Definitely won't come out next year though. But for me, the most exciting things about next year are the second party games, actually. Like, I'm looking forward to Bayonetta 3. No More Heroes 3 is not technically second party, is it? Or is it? Did Nintendo buy that?
It doesn't appear on anything else, does it? So, but it's not really second party, no. It is Grasshopper Studios.
So I think there's a lot to look forward to, and I mean, I really would like to see another sports game from Camelot. Golf would be ideal. Tennis was really good, so if they can capture that and make a good online system again for a golf game, that would be great.
Camelot-made Strikers game?
No. Golf. Well, I would play Strikers, but I want golf. But Camelot wasn't Strikers, was it? It was.
No, it wasn't.
It was Luigi's Mansion guys. Next Level, wasn't it?
Next Level Games, yes. That's what I'm saying. That maybe Next Level Games now are free. Do we know what they're doing?
Luigi's Mansion 3 DLC. Season pass.
I hope it's Strikers they're working on. I wouldn't expect to see it next year, but I hope that they'll be moving on to Strikers next. But I kind of have a feeling it's going to be another Punch-Out game.
Oh yes, please.
I'd be happy with that.
I love Punch-Out as well. Like the Wii one was fantastic as well. Even like the motion control stuff. So I kind of expect them to, like with ARMS and stuff. I sort of expect them instead of going with like an ARMS sequel, they'll probably focus on like a new Punch-Out game and get you up and active with that.
Myself, I can see Splatoon 3 coming, and coming earlier than we'd expect. You know, it'd be like around that E3 time. They can drop it in a direct beforehand, mention it, and it will follow models we've talked about where it's free to play.
I also think so as well. Yeah,
battle passes, and I can see them. It's a weird time for Splatoon, isn't it? It's 6 months since they stopped the last Splatfests. I was going to say Battlefest then. Splatfests, and it's dragging on a bit now. I've played it now and again, and the user base is still there. But it's time. It's time for a new one, and they've got to maintain the momentum of that franchise. I believe we'll see Splatoon 3 next year, and it'll be summertime.
Really? That soon?
Yeah, I think because they'll be hopefully, this is obviously a dream, but they'll be iterating it all the time as a kind of free to play model, so they can drop that core game out, bare bones, but with promises of what's to come.
It's true, yeah, they could do that.
Yeah. And it's coming, boys. Metroid Prime Trilogy is coming, because Metroid Prime 4 is not coming next year.
No, it's not. No way. Yeah.
So I think, especially towards the latter part of the year, we'll have some Metroid 4 information in a direct, and Metroid Prime Trilogy will drop next year. But it will be towards... I think they're going to pull the same as they've done this year. Everything's going to be towards the end of the year.
Really?
Yeah. Apart from like a Mario Golf and a Splatoon 3 in the middle of the year, everything else is going to be at the end of the year, including a possible, and we talked about it last week quickly, a Mario Galaxy HD Collection 1 and 2. No?
I don't know. Come on, everything that we actually want, we're not going to get. So it's classic. How many years have we been saying now? Trilogy, Metroid Prime Trilogy HD. How many years? 3,
it's coming
4.
This year. This is the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's more chance of Samus Returns getting a port. From the
Yeah,
3DS.
I can see that as well.
And
yeah.
I would get it. I haven't played it yet.
I don't know what Mercury Steam are working on. Come on.
What about in terms of Nintendo Switch Online? How do you see that developing next year? Are we going to get more systems, more games? Are they going to charge more? Are they going to try to change it somehow? What do you think?
I can see them not. I wouldn't expect N64 next year.
No.
But I can see them adding more SNES games as they promised. But it's going to be on a slower basis. Maybe they'll start dropping them when directs drop. You know, I'll be like, in a direct, and go, oh, by the way, we've added a few extra SNES games. These are them, and they'll drop the Donkey Kong trilogy, for example.
I hope so.
Yeah. Other than that, I can see them dropping some free-to-play games as long as you got your Nintendo Switch Online membership, like Tetris 99. Maybe something like a Pull Blocks World stuck into the Nintendo Switch Online service. Something
Mario
similar
versus
to
Donkey
that.
Kong.
Yeah, perfect fit. They could add games like that to it.
And will they increase the price? If they do.
I'm thinking that there is a possibility of Nintendo 64 games next year at some point, and I say that because we kind of discussed it last week. They were saying like their focus is not on like releasing new miniature consoles anymore. It's sort of like those legacy platforms on the Switch or whatever. But if they do introduce Nintendo 64 games, a price increase or different tiers to the online is definitely coming. I can't see them including Nintendo 64 games in the price that they're charging for Switch Online.
Do you see that coming in September? Like, it's September NES dropped, and then it was a year later in September that SNES came. So a similar kind of time frame.
Round renewal time, there'll be something there, just
something to incentivize us to drop the extra cash. Yeah.
Nintendo Switch Online Plus.
Yeah, possibly. And Lee, you were saying there about Splatoon 3. I'm not sure if I would be excited by another one so soon, because it doesn't feel like that long since 2 to me. And like, I know what you mean about momentum and stuff, but like, we're all sort of at the minute we're sort of thinking like, right, sequel to Breath of the Wild, sequel to Odyssey, sequel to Splatoon. And it's like, we beat this drum all the time, but there's so many other franchises that I just would love to see, and it's just, I don't want to keep seeing the same things again and again. Apart from,
are we going to see those franchises though, Greg?
No, they're dead.
Oh,
Most of them are dead. We may see a wee treat now and again, like a wee glimmer of something, but it's never going to be one of the old ones that I want. But I think. You both sort of thought Breath of the Wild 2 maybe come towards the end of next year. I can't see it, actually. I think it'll be the following year. I think Odyssey 2 will be coming before Christmas next year.
Big Christmas game. Yeah.
Just like what they've done with Galaxy, where it's like all the leftover ideas and stuff got put into Galaxy 2 and they sort of ran wild with it, and I think they'll do something similar with Odyssey.
Maybe, yeah, it's possible, definitely. But the thing is,
I need to get back into Odyssey to pick up the last moons I haven't got. Anyway.
I haven't finished it either, actually. I haven't finished it either.
Nick, you were saying?
Both the engines for both games are done, so it's not
Yeah.
gonna. It's definitely not going to take them as long to do it. I don't think I want a sequel to Odyssey. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I kind of want them to try something different. I would much rather see a Galaxy 3 than an Odyssey, or a new Super Mario World 3D World 2, to be honest.
Yeah, that would be, yes, especially with the 4-player local. Forget local, online. But then again, I've seen how Super Mario Maker runs online. Scary.
I actually agree with you, Nick. Like, I would probably prefer Galaxy 3 or 3D World 2 as well. But perhaps with like the controls of Odyssey, because Odyssey felt great to play.
It did.
I know you said like you probably wouldn't like an Odyssey 2, like maybe just like you liked it for what it was, but you don't want another one. Part of me is a bit like that with Breath of the Wild, because it's sort of like I loved Breath of the Wild. There are aspects of it that I don't like in comparison to other 3D Zelda games, like the dungeons and stuff. But it was just like, it's the first sort of time I've went into an open world game and I've actually like properly enjoyed it, and I've loved exploring it and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if another game that uses like the same engine and the same sort of style is gonna have that same sort of effect on me.
It won't.
True.
And
won't.
I think they'll do something a bit different for the sequel, to be honest. I don't think they'll do the same thing again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really hoping that they do bring in some more of the classic elements. Like, I want to use like the hook shot again and the boomerang in this world. Like, but we'll see.
Let's see. I can see it being a smaller world, but more dungeons, that kind of thing. Yes, and taking it back to that kind of original element of Zelda. That would be a nice shake-up.
Worryingly, I can see it being a bigger world, because some developers seem to think like bigger is better for some reason, and I don't understand why like moving the distance between two things just for the sake of it makes it better. You'd rather
You got to climb over that mountain. So, what games will definitely not be coming? Just a quick few mentions. Metroid Prime 4. Don't think that's coming.
I agree.
I'm skeptical about Bayonetta as well. I'm like, yeah, Astral Chain's done now. Maybe Bayonetta will be there, but I could see that slipping as well until like a January 2021. And I tell you what won't be coming, and will hurt a few people's feelings on the forum. Pikmin. Are we going to see Pikmin next year?
Forgot about it. Dead franchise?
It's gone, isn't it? It's wow. No, it will come back, but I don't think it's going to be next year.
Well, Miyamoto probably forgot to flip the switch on the eShop 5 years ago when he said it was done. When was Pikmin 4 finished? Or when did he say it was finished?
It's got to be about 2 years ago now, isn't it? At least. Yeah.
You're right, actually. I didn't think about Pikmin, and I didn't think about Star Fox either. Star Fox Grand Prix, anybody?
It's gone, isn't it? That ship has zoomed off and turned into F-Zero, which is coming this year. No, I can't see it happening either.
I think you're right though about Metroid Prime 4, and I think Bayonetta will come out in October or September or October. Bayonetta 3. I think they'll get it done and they'll get it out. Breath of the Wild 2. 50-50. It could be right. It could be another Mario game, and then they'll delay Breath of the Wild till later. But apart from that, I don't know.
Greg, what's not happening next year?
Wave Race isn't happening next year.
Mario Kart 9?
No.
No, not happening.
Mario Kart 8 is still selling too well.
Yes.
I think Mario Kart 9 feels like a launch title for whatever the Switch upgrade will be in a couple of years' time.
I hope they don't think the same thing with Splatoon 3. I need more Splatoon in my life. I have loved that franchise. I know you're not excited about it, Greg, but I do want that next year. Get me back into Splatoon. Take me away from Battle Royale games.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see a WarioWare game come, because there's...
Yeah.
I mean, obviously 1-2 Switch came at the start of the Switch's life, and it had a few uses for the Joy-Con, and I mean, a terrible game, like, but a WarioWare, there's bound to be millions of uses for those controllers, and WarioWare is the perfect platform to showcase some of that stuff. Just do it.
Yep, I can't wait. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a like if you've enjoyed our content. You can also check out our other great content on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and the N-E Café podcast from all good podcast providers. Just follow the links in the description below.